Welcome, welcome, and welcome to everybody. It's been a while, but we are back. We are back at it again, and we're about to share some insights into what is the safest investment strategy. Okay. We're going to look at our strategy that we use. We consider it our bread and butter, and this is how we approach the markets on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, planning our quarters out so that we know exactly what our forecast and projection is looking like. Okay, so we enjoy anticipating the market before time, but obviously, as you know, the market can reverse at any time. The market makers can do exactly what they want to get the numbers straddled up into their favor. Okay, at the end of the day, it is a numbers game, and it's all about the numbers. So let's look at what is the safest investment strategy that 3D Capital emphasizes on using in approaching the markets on a daily basis. Okay, the safest investment strategy that we use is deemed the safety trade. Okay, it's called the safety trade for a particular reason. Why? Now, it is considered the safest place to get into the market for numerous of reasons. Okay, let's cover a few reasons as to why it's considered the safest investment strategy. Firstly of all, we consider it the safest investment strategy. Why? Because the market maker will not return back to this point. Okay, the market maker will not return back to this point on the chart until the cycle is complete. The market maker cycle, okay, the dealer cycle. Number two, why is it considered the safest point of entry, or the safest place on the chart? Is because the anchor has been confirmed. What is the anchor? The anchor is the point from which the market maker will begin its cycle from. Okay, the anchor is the point where the market makers have committed heavily into their offloading their positions, and this is the point from which they begin their cycle from. Okay, the other thing is that it's considered the safest investment strategy because why? It has an 80 to 90% success rate. I'm talking about winning success rate. Okay, it has an 80 to 90% winning success rate. Okay, what do I mean by that? I simply mean that your chances of entering the trade and experiencing profit is in the 80 to 90% region. Okay, why is it considered the safest investment strategy? Because it has a minimal drawdown. Simply said, your drawdown that you experience is very minimal, or for a short period of time. All right, so when you start seeing that red screen flashing, it has a minimal drawdown effect. Moving on, what are the other reasons as to why this is the safest investment strategy? It is by far the simplest entry and exit strategy. So what do I simply mean is that it has a simplistic approach. Let me put that in brackets. It has a simplistic approach. So therefore, you feel more confident. There's a sense of control. And you don't have to stare at the charts the entire day. So there is a misconception that us as day traders sit and stare at our charts the entire day. No. That is incorrect. Okay. It is the simplest entry and exit strategy and has a simplistic approach. Let me say and. Okay. It has a simplistic approach. It is the safest investment strategy because, like I said, of its simplicity. It is the safest investment strategy because the trade moves quickly into your favor. All right. Now that might sound repetitive as to what I'm saying, but if you've entered this trade, you shall experience at the right time, of course, with the right conditions and confluences, building the right case to present it to the market maker, you will experience a profitable trade quickly after the shift bar. Okay. It is by far the safest investment strategy because the trade moves quickly into your favor. Why? You will know whether you are wrong or right very quickly. Okay. It is by far the safest investment strategy. Why? This is by far the most important reason why. Because you are trading in line with the dealer's trend, with the market maker trend. Okay. It is the safest investment strategy. Why? Ninth reason being because you are able to enter the trade and hold it for 2 days. Okay. If you've caught this trade correctly, you can hold this trade for 2 days if caught correctly. So that's why you do not have to sit in front of your screen and monitor the charts the entire time. No. And our last reason why is it the safest investment strategy? Because you can offload a positive and confident lot size and trade with no fear. Okay. Of course, if understood correctly, once again. So it is the safest investment strategy because you can offload a confident lot size and trade with no fear if done correctly. So these are the reasons as to why this is considered the safest investment strategy, deemed our safety trade, because the market the market will not return back. All right, so the market will not return back to this point until the cycle is complete. The anchor has been confirmed, meaning the direction has been confirmed. It has an 80 to 90% winning success rate. It has a minimal drawdown rate. It is the simplest entry and exit strategy and has a simplistic approach there's a whole lot of simplicity involved in it. You don't have to stare at it. You know when it's coming. You know what time it's coming. You know how it's going to look. The trade moves quickly into your favor. You are in line with the dealer's trend. You're not trading against the banks. You are in line with the institutions. You are able to enter and hold this trade for 2 days if you desire to do so. And of course, you can offload a confident lot size and trade with no fear if done correctly. All right. Now, in order to know how to trade our strategy, please feel free to link up with us on WhatsApp. We don't have social media. There is no Instagram. We don't have Facebook. Please link up with us on WhatsApp. It is below in our description. And ensure to reach out to us on our comments and we will get back to you. All right. So let's look at an example of our strategy. Now, before we go into the example of our strategy, when I talk about the simplicity, we're trying to simplify everything and make it as safe as possible. Now, as we mentioned before, it is an oxymoron to discuss trading and safety as the two complete opposites. Okay, there is risk involved, but we minimize those risks by eliminating factors that are going to be able to prohibit us from obtaining our objectives. So what we simply do is we create simplicity in our approach. We don't trade every single pair under the sun. We analyze and project and forecast where our particular pair is going. And then what we call this is cycling through the cycle. Okay, you know exactly what I mean very shortly. So let's get into that. All right. So guys, as you can see, this is the NASDAQ. All right. The NASDAQ. And what I want to be able to explain to you is that we're going to look at the safety trade through a micro lens and a macro lens. Okay. Safety trade occurs on every time frame, but we focus on the 50-minute time frame. So we start from our anchor peak formation. This is the major macro anchor peak formation where the dealer begins its cycle, the major cycle, the overall buyer's direction, the market maker's cycle. Okay, and then in between that cycle, you will get micro cycles that fulfill the objective of the macro cycle. So from this point, we have our peak formation, our level 1 drop. Peak has been confirmed and locked. This is our level 1 times 80-yard drop, and our safety trade will come in the following day. And as I said to you, you can hold this for 2 days or even more sometimes, depending on when the cycle is complete. You can hold it until the cycle is complete. Okay, so you'll get your safety trade, and as I said to you, it'll move quickly into your favor, minimal drawdown, and hassle-free with simplicity. You'll get your following drop, your second day of drop. It'll go into consolidation, and then you'll get your last day of drop. Okay, now that is a cycle complete. We will then move forward and wait for the next cycle. Now you will get your reset cycle where the market maker will, in attempt to get to the reset point, it will go back and hit the stop losses of traders in this region. Okay. The market maker is simply trying to go back and hit the stop losses of traders in this particular region. That's why the market has to reset, not only to hit the stop losses, but also to induce traders into the opposite direction, but also then to go about building further liquidity for their next move. Okay. That's the objective of the market maker. Now, moving on, you then have your anchor point here, so your peak formation low here, and then your safety trade coming in the following day. Safety trade, okay? As I said, it's painless and it moves quickly into your favor, minimal drawdown. Now, we're not going to go into much detail, but we're just trying to illustrate to you how we cycle through the cycle by trading just the safety trade alone. Okay, you can hold it for 1 day, 2 day, cycle complete. You come in the next day after you had your H1 reset, and then you'll get your level 1 drop, okay, and then your safety trade. Minimal drawdown, holding it for 2 days, reaching a peak formation, the reset occurs, and then we continue the cycle again. First level drop, safety trade, holding it for 2 days, 1 2 day, cycle complete. Okay, so now if we look back, you can see that we've had a major safety trade point over here. If this had been level 1 drop, this would have been our macro safety trade. This is our level 2 drop. This is our level 3 drop. So therefore, the cycle needs to reset and continue down because the cycle is complete on the 4-hour time frame, the H4. Okay. So let's move forward and witness exactly how we've been cycling through the cycle. Now, bear in mind that this is the safest entry point, and notice that for each safety trade, the dealer doesn't come back. It's not like you've entered there and he will return back before coming down. Okay. Now, the reset occurs here. You have your level 1 rise, come out of consolidation, safety trade, you can hold for the next 2 days. 1 2, cycle complete. All right, the dealer then goes about forming a macro H4 reset. So why is this reset much larger than the smaller resets? Because of higher time frame demands, because of the H4 having to reset. So this is a macro M formation. Continuing in our new cycle now. You have the level 1 drop, come out of consolidation, safety trade, minimalistic, simplistic, and safe. At the same time, minimal drawdown and moving into your favor, holding the trade for 2 days. 1 2. Okay, cycle complete, anticipate the reset, and then move down. This is your H1 reset. Now you've had your level 1 drop, come out of consolidation, you've got your safety trade. The anchor point has been confirmed, the peak formation high has been confirmed, you've got your safety trade. Now there are other confluences that we use, other tools that we use, and other approaches that we use to confirm our entry and our confirmation of our peaks being locked so that we can trade away from the peak. So you got your level 1, safety trade, moves in your favor very quickly, and then you can hold that for 2 days. 1 2, cycle complete. Okay, now this is an exception. This is still a safety trade, but this is an intraday safety trade. Okay, so you've got your H1 reset again, and then you've had your level 1, your intraday safety trade, and you could hold it for, in this case, if it's intraday, for 2 cycles. For 2 sessions. If it's an intraday safety trade, you can hold it for 2 sessions and not 2 days. In this case, this must have been London. This was New York, and you could hold it New York session and Asia session. All right. Now that is the H4 level 3 complete. So we can anticipate a macro reset occurring. So safety trade, level 1, come out of consolidation, safety trade, quick into your favor. You can hold it for 2 days. 1 2. But Dexter, what about this stop hunt here? Yes. Now, out of all the safety trades we've gone through, look at the winning rate, the percentage, the success rate. It has been thus far successful with no safety trade being stop hunted after the safety after the peak has been formed. This is the only one thus far. So that is 1 out of how many safety trades? We've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Out of 9 safety trades taken thus far in this pair, okay, we've had only 1 safety trade come back and hit our stop losses, okay, which is this one here. All right, because obviously once we're in profit, we move our stop losses from behind our entry point to break even, and therefore this spike would have taken us out, or did take us out. Okay, so we've got our macro cycle here, our macro reset, H4 reset, and there we continue. Now guys, you're going to see a black line here. This black line was projected from this point. Every move has been projected and anticipated, and thus far we've had a 100% success rate in analyzing this pair and executing safety trades in this pair. Nonetheless, let's move forward. All right, we've had a level 1 safety trade coming in the following day. You can hold for 2 days. 1, 2 days. Cycle complete. Reset. H1 reset. We have a safety trade that came in after our level 1 drop out of consolidation. And as you can see, our analysis has been, we had analysis done in this year yesterday, and we had executed the safety trade, and we are holding this trade now currently as we speak on the NASDAQ. Okay, so it'll be 1 day, and we're anticipating a type 3 M formation, which we'll get into following videos. A type 3 M formation and a drop. Okay, giving us our completion of our cycle. Okay, that would have given us our completion of our cycle. We then have already anticipated that we should receive another reset, whereby we will take another safety trade, giving us our completion of our macro cycle. Our completion of our macro cycle. So let's go to the H1 time frame to see what our macro cycle entails. Our macro cycle then entails 3 levels of on the H4 time frame, giving us 1 level on the daily time frame. So once this has been completed, we would have expected 3 levels of drop on the daily time frame, and we will anticipate a macro peak formation, like we had a macro peak formation high, a macro peak formation low, and returning back to the equilibrium point. Okay, then we will reverse this entire process in an uptrend. All right, guys, I hope that has been insightful as to understanding why our strategy is considered the safest investment strategy. Please ensure to hit the like button, subscribe, so that we can get this information accessible to you, so that you know exactly when it's available. Therefore, go about also hitting the alert button, so the alert bell, so that you know exactly when we do drop videos. We don't drop videos every day. We're not in the business of YouTubing. We're in the business of 80 to 90% success rate in trading, the foreign exchange market, and other further instruments. Now, please note from this point, which is about, we consider this about 3 months. Okay, in 3 months, we've had 1 safety trade that had failed, which was this particular one over here. Okay, in 3 months on NASDAQ alone, we have had 1 safety trade that has failed in 3 months on NASDAQ alone. Please understand my point. I'm not saying that we are 100% accurate, but I'm trying to emphasize the fact that we have the safest investment strategy, and we look forward to assisting you in approaching the market with simplicity, confidence, and a great amount of skill. Thank you very much. Be well, and all the best.